Look, I've been doing this for over 10 years, so by all rights I should seriously know everything there is to know about Payday 2 at this point. Yet again and again, community members surprise me with new gameplay mechanics, features and Easter eggs that I still haven't stumbled upon after all this time. After a few false dawns though, this really is it. The very final 10 things you don't know about Payday 2, before we head off on the road again and find even more obscure secrets in Payday 3. So, settle in for one final hurrah as I share the very last secret on my well-guarded list. This one gets a little crazy, from broken crew AI builds to events that break even the entire continuity of the Payday series. Remember, if you learned something new, leave a like, and if you knew everything already, touch grass, but also smash that dislike button on the way out. We're gonna get as hardcore as I dare here, so sit back, relax, and hopefully learn something new. First up, you guys know I like to drop a few useful secrets in these videos that can actually translate into your gameplay, so how about one to help you out when playing public stealth? Did you know it's actually possible to dominate recently alerted guards when in stealth, even while still in casing mode, meaning if someone slips up early on, you can potentially save the situation immediately without even having to mask up, allowing your clumsy crewmate to mop up the pager. This unmasked style of stealth is such a staple for Payday 3, so it's nice to get some practice in before we move over entirely to cheesing our way through banks without ever drawing a weapon. This secret was also shared by Mark MB, who I know I've personally learned an awful lot from when it comes to stealth, so thank you for one last discovery, Mark. And I might as well follow that one up with an incredibly useful mechanic, which may or may not be intended, that allows you to seriously power up your crew AI. First of all, it's getting to be common knowledge that from the recent McShay Weapon Pack DLC, the Akron is a ridiculously overpowered crew AI weapon due to a misplaced decimal point. But what fewer people are aware of is that fully auto guns can be bolstered even further in the hands of your crew AI, simply by equipping the body expertise skill. For whatever reason, this massive body shot multiplier will be passed on to the bot teammates you bring on a heist, so long as they're using fully auto weaponry, allowing them to seriously boost their DPS. When combined with the already monstrous Akron, you can basically sit back and relax, even on DSOD, as your AI teammates can do all the heavy lifting for you, which might be nice to know as you try to unlock those final Payday 3 rewards on Steam. At the number 3 spot, we have a completely unique feature in the hostile takeover heist. This one is interesting in that every objective can be completed in any order, and in fact, if you're smart about it, you can clear the entire heist incredibly quickly without much resistance. But in Loud, if you do hang around, these SWATs will set up an automatic sentry turret on the roof to cut down the incoming escape chopper. Your job then is to take it out, which can be a major pain in the arse on an otherwise smoothly designed heist. But did you know, you can make use of the heist's unique geometry and addition of the very popular golf carts to Mario Kart your way to the top of this grassy verge, launching yourself onto the building's exterior balcony and crushing the sentry turret before it gets the chance to be a real problem. Modern solutions to modern problems. This was just the first of a few recent heist discoveries, with the shield marshal enemy types added in Lost in Transit also having some really unique mechanics that I believe few people have really interacted with. For example, did you know that these are the only enemy type in the game that will actively attack jokered cops with their unique abilities? Cloakers won't kick them, tasers won't zap them, but sure as hell shield marshals will go out of their way to flash them even if the player isn't around, briefly incapacitating the joker as a result. That's not all though, shield marshals are unique in that you can destroy their flimsy protective shield, transforming them into what is actually a more dangerous enemy type. If you don't want to do that, but also don't want to get flashbanged, try shooting out the 2 red lights on either side of the shield when they're charging a flash. This will result in the flashbang backfiring, allowing you to actually incapacitate all the cops around them for a short period. This kind of counterplay is brilliant and reminds me of the weak spots that have been added to specials in Payday 3. I'm not sure I've managed to share over 60 Payday secrets without really delving deep into the Payday and Heat connections. This 90s crime film has been more than a subtle inspiration to Payday as a franchise, from the Armored Transport DLC essentially being one big reference with its one-to-one promotional art, to the addition of Wayne Gro's mask in the Hockey Heat, and likely even Gage, the weapon dealer's name, derived from the Gage Armored Express vehicles robbed in Heat. With his return in Payday 3, that one's running even deeper, but my personal favourite has to be Twitch's alias within the Expert Driver asset. Here he goes by the name Neil McCauley, Robert De Niro's leading character from the film. Now onto a less useful but equally amusing secret. Did you know the recent Lost in Transit and Hostile Takeover heists have added new ways to actually end your heister's life prematurely? Yep, even if you manage to avoid the point of no return on Lost in Transit, if you're clumsy enough to stand underneath the falling pipes after the C4 has done its job, you will be damaged and potentially downed instead of just teleporting out of danger. But if you want to take Heister Harakiri to the next level, how about downing yourself in casing mode for the first time ever? Thanks to Hostile Takeover's unique map design, you can actually reach an elevated point of the map that also has no invisible wall protecting it, meaning you can stroll straight off the edge of the grass overlook and fall directly to your death without ever masking up, if you wanted to for some reason. These heists added over the last year or so also hide their own more intentional secrets too. For example, have you ever spotted the dancing civilian on Lost in Transit hiding outside the map? He can be found by using Sixth Sense or a FreeCam mod, although I'm also pretty sure you can call the cops if you're not careful, so keep that in mind. Similarly, the ex-CO at Starbreeze, Mikhail Nurmark, who was taken from us far too soon, has a civilian modelled after him that has a very low chance of spawning atop the crane in the Ukrainian prisoner heist, acting as a final in-game send-off to the guy who pulled Starbreeze back from the brink. Finally, we have a closing send-off from the Payday 2 art team, who left a note of thanks to the Payday community within a barely ajar locker on Crude Awakening, possibly making this Payday 2's final ever Easter egg. This next one is yet another unintentional Payday 2 mechanic, but as some of you will remember, grenade launchers used to be able to crit back before this was patched out as a bug. For whatever reason, this fix never seemed to take place for the China Puff grenade launcher, which has retained its ability to activate crit damage via low blow. This is a powerful feature of the weapon that I leveraged on the Demo Man run to almost one-shot doses on heists that really needed it. As far as I know, this is really the last remaining bugged weapon feature I can think of, so enjoy it to its fullest. Unintentional or not, this makes the China Puff a completely unique weapon within the game, and I'd be shocked to see that updated out of it at this point. The penultimate secret and 69th on this complete list is centered around Payday 2's Safehouse raid heist, one of the most underrated heists in the game for leveling up your infamy. But did you know there's even some opportunities to take some cash on this one? I'm sure the Bulldozer Pinata will be something you're familiar with, which can be shot open, releasing loose cash to be picked up, but what fewer people will know is that the sum dropped is completely random, and there is in fact a jackpot that can be earned if you get really fortunate RNG. Alright, I know, this one is probably fairly common knowledge, but what might not be is it's actually worth allowing a few bags to be stolen on this heist, as you can pick them up once loose, and if you're holding them as the heist ends, it will be as if you actually stolen this loot, meaning more cash in the bank for you. This is something I endeavour to do every time I take on this heist nowadays. So we've finally made it. 70 Payday 2 secrets in total, a lot of hidden details and Easter eggs, culminating in one that really fascinates me as a lore enthusiast. As many of you will be aware, Commissioner Garrett was for a while the primary antagonist of the Payday gang, with the crew finally able to see him in the flesh during the Break-In Feds heist. Whilst you could feasibly get your revenge there and then, due to Payday's continuity requiring him to be alive during the ending to receive his medal from President Bane, this results in an immediate 10-second point of return as the heist has to be failed for the final narrative to make any sense. However, of course, the devious Payday community members are not satisfied with that, and have created a method of killing him right before the escape activates, using C4 in order to end Garrett whilst also still successfully completing the heist. There is absolutely no tangible purpose of doing this, but it sure as hell is satisfying to break the Payday lore I've spent literal weeks chronicling, sending us into Payday 3 with everything up in the air. And that's it for the Secrets of Payday 2, a series on this channel that's lasted over 3 years across 7 unique videos. If you missed any of the others and want to brush up before Payday 3, the complete playlist is linked in the description, and of course my best kept secret is the high quality Apex Gaming PCs you can pick up from my storefront just in time for Payday 3's launch, with the ability to ship in under 48 hours from purchase. Check them out from the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, remember to like or dislike depending on how much you already knew. Take care, I'll see you all in the run up to Payday 3's highly anticipated launch. A huge thank you to my dedicated Patreon backers. If you want to join this crew in going infamous, check out the link below and pledge as little as $2 to see your name in the credits, or get 24-hour early access to future videos and vote on upcoming content. Take care, I'll see you all soon.